Hey guys, with the recent events of Superstorm Sandy, um, first of all, I would like to, you know, send my prayers out to Superstorm Sandy. No particularly Christ-like prayers or anything. Just, you know, pray that the Creator takes care of those who need it the most, and that those who live in New York and Pennsylvania and the East Coast area, then pretty much the entire East Coast, that they would pull through, um, even if they didn't, prepare for such an event. I just pray that you guys pull through. So it's been making me think, here on the West Coast, uh, we do have earthquakes, and meteorologists are saying that, a super El Nino or El Nina could trigger such an event here on the West Coast. And where I live, there is definite potential for flooding. So I have a couple questions to those of you out there who are open-minded, and the thing is, I live in a house of 13 people, sometimes even more. They're all, my wife's relatives. I consider them my family as well. And in time of crisis, I don't think I could abandon any of them. And I wouldn't want to abandon my family. They've been there for me, and I feel I should be there for them. But the problem is as far as prepping, I'm a lone wolf. I try to convince my wife that we need to prep, and we have supplies, and even as these events are going on, people are more, feeling, what's the word? They send their prayers out to the the victims and the those who are struggling with Sandy, Superstorm Sandy, and they feel bad for them, and there's some are even willing to send canned foods and extra clothes and contributions and whatnot. However, nobody that I know of seems to think, what if it happens to us here on the West Coast? Every year we see the entire country being battered with snow and floods and power outages and hurricanes and tornadoes and everything. And here, in the West Coast, we get rain, and then the rest of the time it's nice and sunny, and we have had earthquakes, but it's not every year, and we haven't had a big one since '89. So I wish people would wake up, and I've tried to wake them up, and honestly, they just get frustrated. But whether they're woken up or not, I can't leave them. So, what should I do? Where should my herd go? The other thing is, please do not tell me to stock up on guns. I am very fundamentally against guns. Guns kill. People say people kill. Guns kill. A gun being dropped on the floor can kill somebody, and it has. Guns are very, very dangerous. And even in times of crisis, people that rely on guns end up getting themselves killed. Think about it. Someone wants your food, and you pull a gun on them, and you fight them, and let's say you even end up shooting them dead. What good is that going to do you? Whoever was related to that person after the event is going to come hunting for you. Their entire family will probably come hunting for you. Who knows? Maybe the neighborhood will come hunting for you. Tragedies last, for a while, but recovery happens soon after. And once everything is recovered, they're coming hunting for you. Not only that, but you have committed manslaughter, and so the law is going to be coming after you. And I'm not talking about a world without laws. I'm talking about just the crap hitting the fan. In other words. So yeah, please don't tell me to stock up on guns. There are many other ways to protect yourself without having to shoot somebody dead. The other question is, I have enough supplies for about a month for my immediate family. And that's 4 people. That's me and my kids and my wife and mother-in-law. And that's rationed. So it'll be about a month rationing. People in my own house are going to want to live off my supplies that I only have for 4 people. And there's going to be a conflict about that. But the thing is nobody contributes to the emergency supplies. People are in denial, and they need to wake up. And you can tell them they need to wake up. You can show them they need to wake up. You can show them instas. You can go through history. Sometimes people just don't want to wake up. It's kind of like living in the Matrix. Sometimes people just want to live in the Matrix. And sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Our entire world is full of them. And I won't get all political or anything, but just, look who our politicians are on both sides. And it's sad that there's only 2 sides, because people won't take third party seriously. But anyway, getting back to the prepping. Also, I have no relatives out in the country. I've seen videos where people are like, okay, just grab your B.O.B. or your bug out bag and hike it to your relative's house out in the country. I don't have any. So that idea is kind of gone. I don't know where to go. I really don't. If I had to bug out, where do I bug out to? Has anybody else come across this situation and found a solution? Because other than going to my local school on the hill, I guess I'd be away from the flooding, but you're at a school. Other people are thinking going to the school. I really just don't know what to do. Other than that, I have been thinking about surviving off the land. Going hiking up to the hills and surviving off the land. No, I'm not a survivalist. I've had training. I've had firearms training too, and I'm still against guns. I've witnessed a military that has totally abused their guns and firearms training, and I've witnessed a military full of people that abuse their knowledge of firearms, and even citizens. I hear you guys saying that, if the police come to take your guns away, you're gonna shoot them. Well, then what? Then they roll their tanks in and throw grenades in your house and obliterate your entire family. Your stock of guns is not going to protect you from, an entire military that wants to take them away. When Katrina happened, what'd they do? FEMA did go down there and take away the guns when FEMA should have gone down there and delivered supplies. So that's it. That's really all I have to say is, where do I go? What should I do? You go to a state park and live off the land, but how many other people are thinking of the same thing, and how, when you're confronted by somebody out in the woods, it's a lot scarier than, confronted by somebody in a town or the city. That's the other thing. I live in the city, or urban area. So, and I know being in an urban area is pretty damn dangerous. So, I would want to get out of the urban area as fast as possible. So that's it, guys. Just let me know what your concerns are. Give me some advice, please. And try to stay safe. Thanks.